All right. So did these ventures ever blend together, or do y'all try to keep them very separate?
They do cross paths because she's my ultimate dream partner, and nobody knows what's going on inside this crazy head more than she does.
And I still am like, what's going on inside that crazy head though?
And she owns a branding agency and one of the best like storytelling companies in the South. Incredible team. They're really, really good. They understand me well, even though they're nothing like me. They're probably more left of center people, and I'm, a little bit more right probably sometimes. And
I think you're like right in the center, but you adjust to your audience.
yes, I do. I start dressing like Rock the South sometime.
No.
About right
Hold
now.
on. This is no lie. In 2023, he showed up with a truck, a 4x4, like jacked up truck. And I was like, did you just buy that truck so you could look like Rock the South right now? And he was like, no. But yes. I could not, I almost broke my ankle getting out of it. That's how high it was.
I get into it. Like, it's almost like when you hear Jim Carrey talk about how he became Andy Kaufman when he was doing Man on the Moon, or he became that. I kind of live it, and I listen to it constantly.
Even when he's booking shows, he's always like, he'll start immersing himself into the artist he's thinking about booking to make sure he really wants to book that artist. So
Love that.
But so the question was, do we cross paths?
Yeah.
And I would say that
We do.
what last year taught us is that we needed to cross paths more, that was important. And that even if we aren't working on it together, because
in a business sense.
Yeah, he has a ton of stuff that's just his, and I have a ton of stuff that's just mine that I'm like working on. But I think that we needed to communicate more about what I'm dreaming about, what he's dreaming about, and meeting in the middle of just like believing with each other, because for years we did that so well. And last year was just insane. And the capacity was so tapped that it was really hard to do that. And so we've done a lot of work to like get back to that. And so we launched Taco Mark together. Like he's definitely like the lead, and I was more support, and I like that. Like, if you've ever read the book Rocket Fuel, it talks about the visionary versus the implementer. And in our marriage, he's the visionary and I'm the implementer. And in my work, sometimes for my company, I'm a visionary, but for the companies I serve, I am the implementer. Yeah. I am the person who comes along and I'm like, great, love that vision, we'll make it happen for you. And that's the consultancy side. And so it's cool because when we're in that flow, it's really good. When we get off that flow, it's wonky.
Yep.
Interesting. Do you have like just kind of bunny trail here for a second, but like a brand you created that you're most proud of?
Oh my God, that
or how would you even nail that down?
So impossible.
With us or just on our own?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of Taco Mark.
And is that a fairly new business?
It is.
Yeah.
We've been open 3 months, three and a half months.
I hadn't heard of it.
We
and
have to
we
come.
love tacos and margaritas.
Well, who
Well,
wouldn't?
Yes.
it's birria.
Ooh.
It's
So
good.
it's incredible bowls.
Well, first of all, these are handmade tortillas every day.
Yeah,
Okay, so we hand make our
you have
tortillas.
there.
one lady presses
You have
every
my
single
whole
one of
heart.
them.
Is she Hispanic?
She is, and she's amazing.
Yes, her name is Ariana, and she's wonderful.
She's special talent.
And
Those Hispanic ladies, they cook with their heart.
They do. We just rolled out a new hot honey chicken taco.
Yes, I'll have that.
and
my
that
God.
and
I'll
that
have
is
two of that.
served on a Hawaiian roll
Yes.
tortilla.
Yes.
like literally
they roll it
made
out
From the
and
same
then
company that makes the Hawaiian roll,
They
the
make
Hawaiian
the
bread
tortilla.
roll. They also make a tortilla and it's on that, and it's just sweet, amazing, warm, hot, spicy.
they make an actual tortilla.
Yes.
They do.
Hawaiian bread
Yeah,
roll does.
so you can get it at any grocery store.
Well, that's a lie.
No, that's true. Okay.
I've not seen it at any of my
You gotta
grocery
be
stores.
Go
I'm
to
at the
Wal-
grocery store about every other day.
Go to Walmart,
Same.
Oh,
No, don't go to Walmart. That's a bad
Publix?
No.
maybe Publix.
they don't. I haven't seen them.
Okay, so Taco Mark, I would say, is something I'm proud of. I mean, we do all the branding for Rock the South every year. We do the branding for Rock the Country. We do work. We cross paths. I would say I'm not on those accounts. We have a whole creative team that handles that, and Shane works really well with them.
We've tried to protect that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
So we don't like go in the weeds with each other. But Taco Mark was fun because it was like a fun project we got to do together, and I loved it.
The design,
The color palette.
Inside the building,
It's
outside the building.
yellow.
No, it's
No?
like a bright blue. But the
Oh.
like even the tagline of like "Let yourself live" and how we built an honor wall, and that came out of a session with us drinking wine on the back porch, and just like, what if we created a Day of the Dead theme and did skulls, and those skulls we were able to do an honor wall, and we allowed people of our community to bring loved ones who have passed away, pictures of them, and every night we had a toast where we toast to
honor the dead.
We honor the people who
Wow.
loved us. And then, so I came up with that. Shane came up with the toast. And it is, what do we say every night at 7 p.m.?
We say that if they could tell you anything, it would be number one, take care of your soul. And number two, take care of each other. And number three, let yourself live. And we say that every night at 7 p.m. on the
Every
dot.
night they cling a bell and they,
In the building that I named after my brother, which is really special. You know, he's on the wall too.
my
So,
grandparents are on the wall. Like
so many of our community members, the gentleman that built this home and lived here and then sold it to his brother, who sold it to us, he's on the wall, one of the Criders.
Sean Kreider.
Sean Kreider.
Who is beloved, a beloved community member.
Yeah, there's so many. A young man who passed away in the terrorist attack in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. His sister is dating a guy from Cullman. So we got to put Tiger on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do.
Yeah, we do that together.
We cross paths together. And
Quite a bit.
But we do a lot. We have we're famous for our marriage meeting. We have a marriage meeting every Sunday. We believe that if you have a staff meeting with your teams, you should also have a team meeting with your partner. We have a marriage meeting. We have an agenda. We talk about what we're believing in and what do we need from each other.
Where are we going to be?
Yeah, travel schedules, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
How can I show up for you this week?
What do you need more of? Like what do we need to work on? When's our date night? We have date night every week. We don't care. We protect the shit out of that.
You have to.
Yeah, I'm going to Nashville Thursday and York, Pennsylvania Friday and Saturday, and be home Sunday late. So the only day we could do date night was tomorrow night. So we're doing our date night tomorrow night.
Which is normally when he hangs out with his friends and I hang out with mine. We're like, we'll cut it short.
I'll hang out with them for a little while and meet her and protect the date night.
Well, how does that happen organically where y'all make the decision or come to the conclusion this is an hour thing versus like an individual passion project that you're going to kind of stay out of?
Yes, yeah, very organic.
Yeah.
I would say so. I think, we know about each other's things. She probably knows more about my things than I do hers because she does serve so many other businesses,
I'm geared a little bit more to be like, because Shane he really is Willy Wonka. Like, and I say that in like a loving and admirable way. I think it's awesome. But because he's so Willy Wonka, he is typically like in the zone. And I'm like, that's my job is to be like, tell me what you got,
Right.
what's going on.
Let me get
I
in there.
am a hyper focused person. And you can't do 50 things when you're hyper focused. That is why I'm able to turn loose of things because
Right.
I will geek out on it, learn everything there is to know about it, and then launch it, and then hire a team, and then eventually like, where the hell Shane go?
We told our talking marks.
I'm gone.
On to the next thing.
Because I'm gone. And the older I get, the more I warn you in the beginning.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, listen, I want to let you know, we're going to launch this thing. We're going to make sure it works. We're going to make sure that, that we were right. And then we're going to go through all the processes of getting everything built. And then I'm going to show up once a month and check in. Or I may just have you call me, you know what I mean? But because I now am focused on, I want to build more. I want to build more taco marks. But if I'm living in the kitchen and I'm living at the restaurant every day, there's no chance.
We'll have 10 taco marks at least in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll happen.
All over the Southeast. You're in Alabama.
We're going to focus on the Southeast.
Yeah.
For sure.
At least it's probably a couple states to begin with. And I
There's
think
going to be one across the street from a taco mama.
Well, we'll try.
Ross,
We'll try.
I feel like
Ross
that's
Bridge
coming.
does well with stuff like that.
Yeah.
there you go.
Put a little.
We love Ross Bridge.
Put it in
I would like to have one.
All right, so this is a big question. I'm really interested to hear the answer, but what does partnership mean to you in both marriage and business?
Partners, you're in it in the good and the bad, and there's always going to be bad. There's always going to be hard times. You stick in it together. A great partner communicates. A great partner has got your back. You may fight like hell in the house, but out of the house, we're unified.
Right.
In private, we might go to war with each other, but, to the world, we're going to war together. And I think that's a big one. I've had incredible partners. I've had some bad partners, but mostly have been good. And I've been super blessed with it. Laura is the best partner I've ever had. But yeah, I think they go hand in hand. I think it's similar. You're going to have, during COVID, we learned a lot about partnership from Brene Brown, where she talked about the family's got to be at 100.
I love that. When she was
Have you
talking
heard
about,
that?
yeah,
It's so
I love
good.
her. But when she was talking
Same.
about
Family's got to be at 100.
the soccer or whatever, she was like, we're
Well-
not doing the travel sports this
Right.
year. Yeah.
Well, she was talking about, this was like.
That was a part of the same story, though.
Oh,
But
really?
if I'm
That's the part I latched onto is them damn kids.
Yeah. But but when you communicate,
Right.
and you're being honest with each other about where you are right now, and you're like, hey, look, I'm at 30%. I'm at 30%.
And I'm
now.
like, well, I'm at 40%. We're in a
got an
deficit.
issue.
we got to
At
make
30.
we got to make it up
Yeah.
somewhere,
Where are we going to make it up?
because we're never going to be both at 100. It's never going to be, rarely even 50-50. Somebody's going to be stronger than the other. Matthew McConaughey did a great story about that the other day, about not leaving your partner behind and making sure they're running with you.
I
Are you
listened to
getting
that
his
too.
weekly? Is that his weekly things that are coming out?
I can't.
It was on
remember.
YouTube. My coach sent it to me. It was really good.
It was so
good.
good
It was
about
so
how
good.
sometimes she's ahead of him.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm ahead of her.
Yeah.
And it's not just running off and leaving them.
I think that for me, partnership is, and I've had, a couple of accidental marriages before Shane. And I was unhealthy, okay? And I thought somebody was going to make me happy, which is what Disney told us was going to happen.
Right.
Those assholes. And what I learned instead is partnership, especially this one, is about finding the person that I wanted. I can have good days with anybody, but having the shittiest, hardest moments of your life takes finding someone who's willing to sit in the shit with you but not let you stay in the shit. And I would agree with everything he said, but then I'd also say it's about calling each other back to yourself, like knowing what your values are and then calling them home. Like, call me home if I get off track. Call me home. Call me back to myself. You know what I'm about, and I don't want you to be anybody other than who you are and who you were created to be. But I want to see you being home with yourself. Because if you're home with you, you can be home with me. But if I'm not home with me, I'm not a good partner to him
Right.
either. And so I think that we've learned a ton about that. And I would say the same thing. I have 2 silent business partners in my business, and then I have one partner that works with me every day, Shivani. And the 2 silent partners are amazing. And they're silent. They don't care. They're not in the trenches. They don't have the capacity to care. They don't want to. One of them's just doesn't care. And the other one cares, but doesn't necessarily have the capacity to be in the business with me. But Shivani and I are partners. I mean, we are calling each other on the hardest, shittiest days, but we are also hyping each other up in those moments like, oh my God, it's happening. We're doing it. Look at us. And I think that's what great partnership is. It's making sure that a great partnership can't happen unless there is real trust. Because trust allows you to say the truth, even when it sucks.
Yep.
So I think that answers my last question in this segment, which is, how do y'all keep that partnership intact when you're hustling so hard? And so you're hearing things like communication and trust, filling each other's
Non-negotiable date
tank.
night.
Yeah.
And saying the things. The thing that I love about Shane is he'll say hey, you kind of sound like a bitch. He literally called me out so hard. I was being so bitchy to this customer service lady once, and he was like, that was not cool. That was bad. And I was like,
Some
shit.
people forget they're actually talking to a human.
Yeah.
I blacked out. I was like, I need the alarm to stop chirping. Tell me what it will take. And he was like, babe, that was you are a bitch. And I was like, and then I felt guilty all day. And I was like, God, I wonder if I could call her and apologize. Like,
Send her
such an
flowers.
asshole. I mean, so like, it's like being able to say the thing.
Right.
And honestly, when he talked about last year being hard, I think we both felt like we were walking on eggshells and couldn't say the hard thing.
Yeah.
And then when we finally could say the hard thing, we were so apart from each other that we couldn't hear it because we
Right.
didn't have the trust. The intimacy that comes with being able to say the hard thing is that you have enough deposits in the bank account to write a check.
Right.
To go like, the check is, you're a bitch today. Don't do that. It sucks. And me being like, well, you were being a dick. And I hated it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And there's always going to be days like that.
there will be. Yeah, there's going to be days where
But it's
I'm
also
strong
like,
and she's strong.
yeah, but you also got to know like, hey, we've been in this for so long together. Like, you can call me a bitch, and I'm probably gonna be pissed off, and it might be 2 days. But then I'm over it.
No, my bounce back rate is hardcore.
4 days? What you at?
Oh no, like I'm like 30 minutes.
Oh.
I'll be back.
She's incredible that way.
No,
Where she
I'm
can,
like a 2-dayer.
she doesn't. And
I've worked that down. It used to be 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making progress.
You
My
get it, girl.
therapist.
Get it.
Mine's probably 6 or 8 hours now. You know, like it used to be a few days.
Yeah.
And she's helped me get quicker on rebounding and getting over it. You know, and it was, you know, with pride, man, you want to be right. You know, you want to be right. And so many times I realized if I'd have just shut my mouth and grabbed her, it would have been over and it would have been better. You know, but instead of just wanting to be right about it, you know, but just, you know, there's a guy in my church growing up. He always said it, and he said it a lot. Yeah, he said this a lot, and it sounded so simple and dumb when I was a kid. But he always said just to prefer each other, prefer one another, prefer each other over your business, prefer each other over money, prefer each other over being right or your foolish pride. You know, being right or wrong. You know, just prefer the person, and it really is that simple. It really is that simple. Just to prefer the person over any other circumstance, and you'll get through it, you know. And
honestly, when we do that for each other, we're always so apt to bend toward whatever the other person's like, wow, I can see you're really struggling with this thing. Like, I got your back. Like, if you need to go do that, like, okay, sure. What do you need from me?
yeah, and when you have businesses and there's money, you always hear that like one of the biggest causes of divorce is finance. You know, we've been audited, we've lost money on things, we've had leveraged, and we thought we weren't going to have enough cash to get through it, and we've had all these things happen, you know, and thank God we get through it and we cheer together and those things. But you know, it's you're going to have hard times. You are really going to have hard times.
And it doesn't really matter at what scale. Hard times suck for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, even, you know, Jesus said, he says, in this world you will have tribulation. You know,
It's a promise.
and it's coming, you know, but I've overcome the world, you know. And so COVID, if anything, taught me that. It taught me that if it all ends up with just me on the back porch with a cigar and her and the dogs and the boys, then screw everything else. It really doesn't matter.
We'll be okay.
We'll be just fine. I hope most people got to learn that. I know some businesses thrived. Mine died, but
Mine thrived.
I lived my best life.
Yeah,
Mine
she-
took off. I
yeah.
mean, if my business is at scale, you know, I was like, woo, we're making money for the first time. This is great. I mean, we really took off because I feel like people were like, oh,
Had money,
finally.
and they had to do
well,
something.
and we can focus on marketing.
That's
we
right.
haven't been focusing on
Yeah.
that. So.
Everybody had to do marketing.
Totally. Full circle. Like, so if you're on Smith Lake, or if you want to come to Smith Lake, like Laura said, the lake, the water's beautiful. It's deep and it's awesome,
beautiful.
and it's
clear.
and it's clear, and it's not nearly as busy as a lot of your lakes in Nashville and other places. But the greatest resource we have are the interesting people that live on this lake, who have stories, and will take you. You know, you go into their house and have dinner with them, and the walks of life that are here, the diversity of people is really special. It's worth living here.
Or buying a second home here and having a place to come to. I mean, it really is. I have met some incredible humans on the lake. And I'm blown away by their stories. I have a business coach that's a Black Hawk pilot who lives on the lake, who totally messed up Shane's first deer kill, or tried to. coming down our driveway. She's a Black Hawk pilot, and I was like, "Hey, girl, listen, see my husband with a gun in the driveway, like he's trying to
Yeah,
shoot us first
I was in our driveway looking down, completely legal hunting, waiting on a buck.
with his buddy."
With my friend. She comes through there honking on her horn because she saw me. I thought, what are you doing?
And I had already told her, and she's like, "I honked at him." I was like, "Girl, he's probably shitting his pants. You honking." And that scared
But
his ear
about
off.
22 minutes later, I shot a 9-point at 250 yards, and it was awesome.
His first year.
My first
Ever?
deer. Ever.
You grew up in Hansville?
I
And
didn't.
this is the first deer you shot?
I went hunting all the time as a kid. We didn't see a damn thing.
Oh, you just sitting in those
We
stands.
just sat in the stand or chasing.
And had to be quiet.
Had dogs running them everywhere or whatever, but yeah.
This was different. We had our buddy who's like a sniper was out there with him with like the best equipment
Yeah.
on the planet.
Oh, best gun you've ever seen in your life. Make no
Yeah.
mistake, deer hunting and fishing, all of it. Yeah, you're going to catch better fish if you spend money on it. You're going to kill better deer if you spend money on it. That's just a fact. You're out running around like Davy Crockett,
Yeah.
you know,
With a BB gun?
with a BB
No
gun, or
scope.
with no scope or nothing. Good luck. Good luck with that. You know,
It was like he went on one of those like safaris where they're
Yeah.
like all the animals are actually in
the
fenced
big
in
kills.
yard.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he did out here
Yeah.
because
he
when
did
y'all
everything,
leave,
but
you'll see.
he did everything but pull the trigger. But anyway,
You don't
Yeah.
tell anybody this.
Okay, but come to Smith Lake, yes, please.
Smith Lake's a great place.
Well, what about the kids? How do they factor into all this? How do you see them growing and maturing and maybe shaping their goals for the future based on how they see the two of you?
Yeah, I feel like our kids have been inspired by us. They've made that known, and we try to pour into them in a big way. Both of our kids manifest things. They write them down. They write their goals down. They tell their friends about their goals, and they've seen them come to life, and even a lot of times supernatural ways. And you know, Ethan's dream was to go to Michigan, and Michigan is an incredible top 20 college in America. It's one of the hardest colleges to get into. And he knew his grades were just on the line of being able to get in, you know, but he still said, that's where I want to go. And he wrote it down, and we encourage him to write it down. And he wrote it down, and a month later, strike a new partnership with Kid Rock. I'm at a dinner. I meet 2 Board of Regents and the biggest booster at Michigan. And they wanted to know about Ethan, you know, because I told them my son wanted to go to Michigan. And they said, well, tell us about Ethan. And they got to know him.
And they wrote recommendations.
And they wrote recommendations for him, and even with the recommendations, they still didn't accept him as a freshman. But they said, if you'll go to Bama and make the grades, we'll accept you as a sophomore. So he went to Bama, made the grades, and now he's going to Michigan.
Nice.
Love it.
And so, but he manifested that. And if he hadn't wrote it down, if he hadn't said it and declared it, this is where I want to go, he wouldn't be at Michigan. And our son said, you know, tell them about Judah and the Lion. And,
Yeah,
you know.
Clay he'll be 22 in the next couple days, and you know when he was 15, we took him to see Judah and the Lion, and he left, and he's like, "That's
The
what
rock band out of Nashville.
He's
It's
like,
a really good band.
He's like, that's what I want to do. I need to do what they do. I've got to tell stories from a stage. I want to play music. This is what I want to do." And we're like, "Oh God, Mom.
Wow.
Okay.
1 in a billion. Great, cool." And he moved to Nashville when he was 18 and started writing music. He has written over 900 songs since he's been in Nashville.
Good
And 1 year
grief.
after he was in Nashville, he opened for Judah and the Lion.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, he is working his tail off. It is not for the faint of heart. It takes,
It's not,
It
yeah.
takes a long time to
Very hard.
cut your teeth. He has become an incredible.
But to have the grit and the fortitude to like get up every day and do it in Nashville
Oh.
around all those talented people.
And we, you know, Shane was really paramount. And again, like we're the kind of parents that every year we get our kids a new notebook for Christmas, and we're like, new
it
dreams.
up.
Let's go. Time to write down those goals. Let's
I
get
love
to
it.
it. And
you should write that down.
When Clay graduated from high school in 2019 or whatever year it was, 2020, 2021, I can't remember. They're all blurred together, COVID.
He was a COVID.
Yeah, 2021, when he graduated, all of his friends, his close friends came over. We gave them all notebooks. And we told them, you want to change your life? Write down what you want. and a check, obviously, so they would listen to us. We paid for
Right.
their audience.
Yeah. It's okay. No shame.
Same thing for Ethan. When his friends graduated, we invited them all over. They sat in our living room here, and we gave them all a notebook with a check, and we said, write down your dreams. You want to change your life. You want to change the trajectory of where you're going. Get specific. Ask God for what you want. Make it known. Habakkuk 2:2 says that. Write it down.
And run with it. Yeah, tell everybody.
Yeah.
You know, shout it from the rooftops. You know,
And work your ass off. You can't just write it down. You
Right.
also have to put in the work. And
Kick
put
in a
the
couple
effort.
doors.
of
Yeah.
course.
But that has been really fruitful for them. And I think that they also see us going for it. Like, they don't have parents that mailed it in and had a big win, and they're like, all right, we'll coast. I mean,
We can't sit here and say that we have been at everything that they've ever done.
No, we haven't.
We've probably been at 80 to 90% of the things they've done. But I always felt like if my son, you know, and it is fun, it is great for a kid to look up in the stands and see their mom and dad. And some people say that if, you know, my kid saw me up there every single time, then that mattered. But I always felt like if Ethan sees me chasing my dreams, maybe he'll chase his dreams.
That's right.
And he knew that I was going after the things in my life that I felt like God had made me to do, then maybe he'll do the same. And we have tried to be at every single thing they've ever done. We've not been. I missed Ethan's first steps on tour with Casting Crowns. And I used to have a lot of guilt for that, you know. But when I sat, you know, and was dreaming on how to build Rock the South with him at 7 years old, we were sitting down in the field, and he was saying, what if you do this over here, Dad, and do that over there, Dad? And now I see him chasing his own dreams. I think that's special too, you know. And we have our own lives, and the kids, when they graduate, they're gone. Until they need something, and they'll be back around.
Or tires, like you text today.
You have to
And then
continue.
you're like, yes, baby, what's your Venmo?
Exactly.
Let me send it.
Yes.
I got you.
I said, hold on, you already maxed out this credit card. Let me make a payment real quick.
But I want our kids to see us chasing our dreams, and us believing in theirs with them, you know.
Have you ever overheard them like describing to one of their friends what y'all do, what it is y'all actually do? I mean, how do you? I don't even know how you could even really do that anyway, even if you're like an adult or whatever. If you own like 15 businesses, but
I think Clay does it best. He tells people, he's like, I grew up, I mean, you heard him at a pitch, like you went to that meeting. What did he say?
I don't remember.
I think he says, I know, he told me, it was like, I love telling people I grew up with an insane mom and now have been raised by two wild dreamers and entrepreneurs who work really hard and have forced us to work hard and dream really big. And so
Working hard is there's no options.
Non-negotiable.
yeah, did y'all instill routines in them?
We did. I would say, you know,
the best you can with
the best you
teenagers.
can.
Yeah.
Ethan was in band and was super active in school and extracurricular things. And Clay worked at Waffle House. I told Clay, I said, you might be.
That's hard work.
It was.
That's hard work.
I can't
He
even imagine.
stacked cash.
I know, they
He
make
made-
money.
He made good money
He
at
got
Waffle House.
hazed so hard by all his friends, but
That's
we
all right.
made him have a job or make sure to make an honor roll or have a job. Like
Yeah.
have a thing or have a job.
Yep.
And Clay picked a job, and Ethan, was devout in band and in honors programs and whatever. And they're so different. They're so good for each other though.
But they know hard work is what we value, and a lot of other things, but that's one of the biggest ones. And they've worked really hard for what they have now, and they know they're going to have to continue to work hard, and they see us working hard and, staying persistent, staying after it. I with Clay, I have to tell him every time about being patient, and he's trying to be an artist.
Well, that's
want
what
it-
that
they
popped
want it
into my
yesterday.
mind too, because you were talking about how some of these businesses have taken 7 years
Yeah.
to be realized, and so that's got to be powerful.
It's a marathon.
Yeah,
Typically the one that's the most persistent and resilient, even in the restaurant world, in every type of business, the one that stays after it.
Timing,
the one
man.
the one that came out early. And I always tell people, start chasing your dreams as early as you possibly can. And then, you see people and they're just kind of, it's hokey and they're not doing big things yet. But you see them trying, and you see them kicking around at it. And then 5 years later, you know, they're getting a massive record deal. And like, holy crap, what happened to this person?
Yeah.
You know, but they stayed after it. They stayed persistent. They were willing to look foolish in the beginning.
I tell people, I always earmark 30 minutes a week. I'll go to coffee with anybody who wants to go to coffee with me. And I do that because so many people would go to coffee with me, give me their time. And time is the most valuable gift we can give people. And I'll have people say, I want to be a writer. Well, I publish a magazine, so obviously I'm like, well, that's the right person to talk to. I want to be a writer. What are you writing? Well, I'm not writing anything right now. I just want to be a writer. I'm like, well, call me when you actually are writing something. And writing is a principle. Writing is a way of life if you really want to be a writer. I am a writer, so I know that. I write every day. Every day. I don't let the sun set without writing.
Yeah.
And that is the same way of any type of work ethic. You're going to have to put in and plant seeds every day if you really want something to bloom. And I think that that's like the big thing that we've transferred to our kids is like helping them see like none of this happened like that. I mean,
But the earlier you can start, probably one of the greatest gifts and blessings that I have in business is that I knew what I wanted to do when I was 15 years old. So there's people floating around in their 40s right now, they have no clue. But at 15, I knew. I felt it and I knew. I had no idea how to get there. I didn't know a single thing about it. But at 15 years old, I knew I wanted to make events happen. And I found a way. And it came in the most ridiculous ways. It got to me in the most unpredictable,
wonky,
crazy ways. My first contact in the music industry was a salesman that came to Louisiana Pacific in Hanceville, Alabama. That was my first music contact. And gave me a phone number. Gave me a phone number that knew a guy that knew a guy. And so starting as early as you can, just simply picking a path, because what I knew I wanted to do at 15 doesn't look the same as what I do now.
Right.
But I had chosen a path. I had chosen something to start with, and then it bleeds from there. And that's where Zig Ziglar talks about being a meaningful specific instead of a wandering generality. Most people are living in a wandering generality of I don't know what I want to do, and you know, maybe this, maybe that. I've tried this, I've tried that, and you know, decisionless.
And I would say that doesn't mean you have to only do one thing in your life.
Sure.
I mean, even in Proverbs, it talks about God will bless your paths. There's an S on the end of that. You're going to have many paths that lead toward.
But it all starts with one.
Yes, but you have to pick a direction.
Right.
And we tell our kids that. And I think we tell the people we're in their lives, like whether we're mentoring them or we're working with them or they work for us or whatever the case may be, like it's like pick a direction. Be a thing, show up consistently, do these things, and like, you know, lean into your gifting. Everybody has natural gifting. My gifting's always been people. I was a single mom for 14 years. Like, I was a maniac, but I knew I was really good at people. So I could sell almost anything if I believed in it.
Right.
And I worked really hard in that career path, and it allowed me to start something I wanted to do, which was tell meaningful stories. And now I get to do that for other businesses. I get to do that for myself. I'm writing my first book right now.
It's got a major book deal.
Well,
Nice.
It hasn't been announced. Maybe it'll be announced by the time this comes out. But yes, I did get a major book deal. I think it's supposed to
Are you writing a business book?
I'm not.
What are you writing?
I'm writing a book, a memoir.
About her life.
Love it.
It's hilarious and terrible and
Great.
wonderful.
I can't wait to read it.
It's a shit show.
All
You're
the
going to love
things.
it.
Listen, I like a shit show. It's real, it's vulnerable. Like,
Yeah.
I think we all crave real and authentic now. You know, like social is so, like I have a hard time even ingesting it
Yeah.
most days. Like I really have gotten into a routine of like a social cell, and then I just, like, it's not real anymore, you know? Like
Fake.
our 2010 post that we don't resonate with, that was real.
God,
I'm tired.
listen.
This baby don't sleep through the night, period. That was real.
Let's be honest.
That was real.
Actually, when I repost from 2010, I cringed so hard. 'Cause I'm
me
like,
too, but you know what? We told the
nobody
truth.
loved her enough to tell her, don't post that. Why is she posting that? She'll be like, I'm crunk. Help me, Tom Cruise. Like, it was bad. Okay. Like, she was a nut. She needed a lot of help. But that's why we're writing this book.
Yeah.
Because we want to help
Help
the
me
people.
down,
who might-
please.
That's real. Oprah. I was reaching out to Oprah on Facebook. That's real.
I
That's
love
bad.
it.
I don't. The cringiest thing that I do is see what I was doing in my memories. I'm like, ooh, what was she up to?
We're
in
all ashamed a little bit
2007?
of some of the things we did or
But
said.
you know what? It was real.
It's true.
There was no filter.
No
like
rules.
it was 2010 was no filter.
You know what I loved? Remember MySpace when you would be putting
Yeah.
up the
Oh,
saddest
Tom.
song on your,
Yeah.
like you were copy and pasting some,
Yeah.
this is a breakup song for you, asshole.
Yeah.
That's right. Goodbye, my lover.
Yeah.
But put that up on a breakup.
Yeah.
Let's know.
Mutual friend Tom.
You're out the top 8.
Yeah.
Moving
Bye.
to Bye. Get
Yeah.
out of here with that.
And then you could do the movie thing. You could do like the movement. Yeah. But I appreciate it because it was real. Like nobody was wearing a mask at that point, and everybody is now.
Everybody. You see some of these people showing up and you're like, girl,
Except
All
Britney
the
Spears, she ain't wearing a mask. Hers is real,
That's
and she
true.
needs a friend.
Somebody needs to help her big
She
time.
needs a
she,
friend.
that's me.
Lighting
In
cigarettes on a
2010,
plane.
y'all would be
She
like,
needs help.
woo.
She does.
She was on that yacht the other day. Me
I
and my
didn't
friend
see
said
it.
that, and I'm like, baby, somebody's got to go help her.
She was like, she finally admitted, she's like, I did like the cigarette, but like, not everybody had to go run tell. Or would she say no? She's like,
I don't even know.
bringing the cops to the gate was a bit much. Or whatever. It's like you lit a cigarette on a plane. All right, let's take one last break.
Britney Spears
Then we're going
is
to come
a
back
train
with
wreck.
some, y'all got time for some fun questions?
Yes, we do.
Let's do
Short
it.
one-offs. All right, I'm excited about this. So we got 10 questions, and we're going to go through them kind of in a rapid fire style.
Okay.
All right, coffee order. What's your go-to?
It depends. If I'm intermittent fasting, it's going to be black coffee. But if not, I'll go brown sugar shaken espresso from Starbucks.
That's a good order.
You can get it at Karma's also.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
Karma's also
somebody's got
makes
to bring up the Karmas.
Yeah,
Karma's
I'm
also makes an incredible one.
at Karma's, I'm a chai girl. Spice chai, almond milk. Let's go. It's so
Yeah.
good. It tastes like Christmas in a cup, and I'll drink it all year. I don't care.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
Well,
Have you had an iced chai from Starbucks with lavender cold foam?
Yes, but we local.
I know, but I don't have a local
Lady
place.
Shane just rolled out of Starbucks. I'm like, damn, babe. Wait.
I don't have a local place that
Listen,
serves lavender cold foam, and it's already going.
I got to be one of Karma's number one.
I do like
I was
Karma's.
gonna
I've
say,
been several times.
All the time.
That's true.
Every once in a while, I'll swing through Starbucks
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the oat milk.
across the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
all right. So, favorite local restaurant other than Taco Marg?
Okay.
You know, I would probably say Steven over at 412 Public House.
Yeah.
The guy is so incredibly dedicated to his restaurant. There's not a day that you don't see him there, and he runs it like a well-oiled machine. Him and Rico do an incredible job. So I'm super proud of them, and a bunch of others. But I would say that 412 and Steven.
I'm going to go Dyron. Obviously, Dyron's Low Country had been in business for a really long time, and then Dyron and Zach Wood bought the
Allsteak.
Allsteak, which is amazing. And if you
Phenomenal.
have not been to the back bar at Allsteak, you're missing out. If you're moving, if you're new, you should go to Allsteak back bar. So fun. That one. And then I have to shout out Katie at Karma's. If you're having a meeting and you're looking for somewhere to go, either Karma's or
Incredible.
The sandwiches are really good.
Yes,
Her new
and
restaurant, Jubilee, is killing it.
Oh,
Jubilee
wow.
is so
Yeah,
good. and
Jubilee
it's-
is incredible.
It's by $7 ice cream. So if you have to bring the kids or whatever, but like those two places are beautiful. You can get a great coffee. You can have a great meeting. I mean, the food's good. It's just, if you haven't done it, you got to do it.
Jubilees.
Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out. Yeah, that was my favorite question. Song that always gets you dancing.
I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen guy.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna go there.
I'm going to say Dancing in the Dark or
Billy Joel is hard. not
Glory
to do.
Days.
Yeah.
You know, we're big. We love Billy Joel too. Yeah,
I would say anytime Bruce Springsteen is on in our house, we're dancing.
yeah.
We're dancing.
He brings it out.
He gets it going.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love that y'all are kind of both on the same page there with that one. Best date night spot in Cullman, is it Ethos?
No.
We love
Ethos.
we love Ethos and that family.
That's the pizza wine place.
Yeah.
The pizza place, yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, the Greenings are some of the most interesting people you'll ever meet. You need to interview
You should
them.
interview them.
Yeah.
Greenings are incredible.
I'm gonna go talk to Marg. I feel like if you are new to Cullman, you really should go post up at the bar or grab a seat on the new patio that'll be done in just 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And I'm telling you, best drinks, best vibe. It's fun. If you're looking for a fun environment, I would say Taco Mark. If you're looking for a more romantic vibe, back bar at Allstate, you cannot go wrong. I mean,
Yeah, but also like on your boat on Smith Lake, and you end up at Trident on the patio.
Yeah.
You know, there's Trident and Jeff and those guys have done
Or a
such a great
cove,
job.
like a secluded cove.
Some kind of
There
cove.
you go.
Watch the sun.
Hey.
Watch the sunset. Hey-o. Hand check. Hand check.
everybody, where's everybody's hands,
Hands
up? Yes, but a sunset boat cruise is one of our favorite things to do.
And it's a free show every
Yeah.
night. Sunset on the lake's a free show every night. Costs you nothing outside of fuel.
And
Okay, this is a part B question. Best drink at Taco Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, we're known for margaritas, so obviously margaritas.
Do you have a mean Paloma?
Oh my God, the
Paloma is incredible.
The Paloma is.
I'm a Paloma
Well,
gal.
you will.
Then go to Taco
Okay.
Mark.
Yeah, it's
Because the
so
Paloma is
Espresso
incredible.
martini. Gabe,
Yeah, I like an espresso
Gabe
martini.
She likes that too.
He slings in a mean espresso martini
Yeah, he does.
too. So
like
you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I would say we have a great bartenders in town. You
Mm-hmm.
know, All Steaks Bar, 412's Bar. I know there's the National does a lot of good things, and the bar over at the Grill. There's a lot. There's there's
There really is like a good food scene.
It
Yeah,
really is, and
Hanks-
it's getting better.
Hanks
Yeah.
has a great family
Hanks has,
vibe.
like, cool events.
This family that moved from New Orleans or from Louisiana, deep part of New Orleans, came in and bought Rumors Deli and does Rumors Deli and Hanks, and they have a great vibe there. Really love that family.
They play like bingo on Thursday nights, I think, and like they just
Yeah.
have a fun. I
Yeah.
know that because Harrison.
Goat
told me
Island
it's like-
entertains a lot of people.
Yes.
There's a lot to do. If you're really looking for something to do, you can find it.
Yes.
There's a lot of great places to go.
My friend Emily has the Sips and Strokes in town, and it's so fun. And she'll do like really cool activations all over, not just downtown where you can go paint. You know, she might do something on a rooftop one day, and like it's just so fun. There's always something to do. Our events in Cullman are epic. I mean, not just Rock the South. Obviously, Rock the South is huge and we love it, but like our Parks and Rec puts on the Strawberry Fest and Oktoberfest and the Christ Kringle Market. Golly, mouthful. And they're awesome. We have a witches ride that happens every October, and it's
Second
so
Fridays
fun.
are
Second
huge.
Fridays all through summer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those second
Yes,
Fridays.
and
Second
they're
Fridays are big.
so fun. It's a
It's a
great
good place to come meet people.
Yes, definitely. And Trident has something every Friday or Saturday.
Right.
They
It'll be
always
packed
have.
from now through
Yeah.
the summer.
Yeah.
I do
You see
love when they do
And
the
they
live
just
music
launched
outside.
church on Sundays at
I
Trident.
saw that. Yeah.
Which
Had a
is
few hundred
cool.
people there. Had a
Yeah.
few
That's
hundred
awesome.
people there the first Sunday. A lot of great churches in this community too.
Yeah.
I do love all the lakefront worship services.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's
cool.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. This is a good one. What's the worst business advice you've ever gotten?
Wow. I had a family member tell me that my goals were too big one time.
I swear. I mean, there. I was just that was going to be maybe possibly a part B question, because I would imagine, they care. They say they care about you, so they don't want you to.
Your goals are too big.
They
Yeah.
want you to be at the bottom of the bucket too.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the crab pulling you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my goals were convicting them of their own life.
Uncomfortable for them. Yes.
I think mine was just, why would you ever leave such a good job to go do something on your own when you've never done anything on your own, which was a way of saying, like, I don't believe you can do it. And I think that, even though that was shitty advice, because entrepreneurs know they're entrepreneurs. They know that because
You're frustrated.
they're frustrated. In a structure, in infrastructure, they see holes and cracks, and they look for the ways they would do it better and serve people differently and fill those holes and
Some
solve
people
those
don't care.
problems.
They just clock in, clock out.
Some
they get
people
paid.
just want to drive the car, but some
Yeah.
people have to build the engine.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
And it takes everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
But there's a frustration that builds up in an entrepreneur
Yeah.
if they're not working for themselves.
yeah.
And it's nothing wrong with where they're at. It's just they're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yes.
The engine's not
and
to
they,
their
they start to
specific-
critique it. Oh, this boss is bad. I do it a different way. They should do it this way. These people have no sense. I should be, whatever. Go start your own business.
Yeah.
I had a
Quit bitching.
Yeah.
And go start your own business.
Yeah.
Because that's really that's the problem.
I had a young
The problem
woman.
ain't the business you're working at.
Right.
The problem is that you
You.
should have your own business.
Yes.
Yep.
I had a young woman that worked for me for a little while, who I love still to this day.
Jesus, good.
And we parted ways. And when we were parting ways, I was like, listen, you need to be a CEO. The problem is, I'm the CEO here. And there can only be one. It's weird when there's two CEOs. I never understood it. And I was like, you're gifted and you have a big wingspan and you really want to fly and soar, and you can't do that. We have you caged up, so you need to go do it. And the greatest thing that has ever happened is for her to come back to me as a CEO. She went and took a job somewhere and they promoted her very fast. She became the CEO. She's like, God, you were right. I was like, I know. And so I think that the separation is the worst business advice you can get is when someone is shitting on your dreams, whatever that looks like for you. The best business advice you can get is when someone sees your gifts and they're challenging you to go exercise them. Listen, lean into the people who are speaking life over you and pull yourself away from the people who are poo-pooing on the things that you really want to go and do and you feel like you're called to, because nothing is worse than that. And I always say, like, if everybody at your table is trying to keep you small, you're at the wrong freaking table. Get up and move.
Yep.
And so get up and move.
Yeah, and a lot of times those are people, that you're closest to, family members.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
All right, this is an interesting one.
Reality.
Most unexpected skill the other person has.
I'm going to be honest. Shane's a good dancer. He's got some moves.
Yeah.
He doesn't
That's
show them
impressive.
to the world, but when I get to see him, I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
He's got some
I'm
dance
a
moves.
good twerker.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
nice.
Not really. No.
Oh, I was like, that is unexpected. He doesn't twerk. I've never seen it.
I went to a mixed race school and the music was diverse and I learned about hip hop and dancing and, that sort of thing. And I take that as
little rhythm.
a gift.
He's
Learning-
always
and
been a
take that as a
funky white
gift.
boy, and I'm into
I've always
it.
been a funky white boy.
I love it. When I met him, he was wearing a flat bill and Jordans and a ripped pair of jeans and a t-shirt that I still sleep in.
She still sleeps in that shirt. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say with hers, what an incredible cook she is.
Oh, wow.
When I first met her, I never would have assumed this girl in a convertible BMW, who was running a branding agency in Mountain Brook, would be able to take the most simple, scrap food in the cupboard and turn it into something really great and be truly my favorite restaurant in the county and the city and the country than eating with her. But she can cook really well.
That's sweet.
What's your favorite dish she cooks?
Probably the pastas.
Cacio pepe.
Cacio pepe. She's really
And it's
good
so
at that.
simple.
It's so simple.
simple, but so damn good.
I know.
Good salad, cacio pepe, and a nice pan-seared, buttery filet.
Filet, yeah. She can cook simple things, and she really cooks well for the family and makes a conversation out of it too, and makes it fun and communal. So
God, a full table is my favorite thing. Mm-hmm. I love to have people in this house.
Yeah, you can tell just by this table.
yeah,
I literally, it was like the one thing, like the table has to seat as many people as possible. How many people can you, because this room wasn't a dining room when we moved in here. It was just like a pass-through room.
Okay.
Catched me up on that, helped me understand it. But
So was there a dining room?
they just
Not
had
really.
it in that room.
Okay.
Just had like a table over there. But
Well, this was a thoughtful space to put it.
it was so good.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I don't think we'd recognize the place we came in here before y'all got it. All right. I was wondering about this earlier because, like, how you decompress. Do y'all take vacations? Is that some
Oh, yeah.
medicine?
we vacation hard,
Yeah.
and we go hard.
So what's the current dream vacation that y'all are cooking up right now?
Well, we're going to Europe and we're going to do the UK and Europe in September. And we typically go for several weeks. And when we do that, because we're who we are, we work at least 2 to 3 hours every business day. And we keep business hours. So from 3 to 5 there, it's 8 to 10 here. So we contact us anytime between 8 and 10. We'll do all of our calls from 8 to 10. And
Stay caught up.
so we're going to the UK. We're going to do, which we haven't really done together. We're going to fly into London, but we are Italy fanatics. Like we've probably been to Italy in the 7 years we've been married.
10 times.
Wow.
13. I think I
but-
calculated it.
So we're
to
flying
go.
in. I got these tattoos in Amsterdam, and they're going to do the inside. I'm going to be in Amsterdam for 5 days. She's probably going to be hanging out, shopping, whatever, and they're going to do the
18
inside.
hours. of
18
sitting.
hours per arm. So we're getting my inside of my arms done while we're in Europe.
You already have it designed?
Not yet.
You're going to do it all there?
We're going to do it beforehand.
Okay.
But he normally starts. This guy's in super demand. He's about a year wait list to get him, and this will be my third and fourth time seeing him. But he starts the process about a month out, and then because I have ideas, I know things I want to do and say, and whatever.
Yeah, he has some stuff that
I have
he's
some
gonna
things
say.
I've written down.
And I'm not going to shop. I'm going to be writing because I have
She's
a
gonna
book that's
write.
due June
And she'll shop a
2026.
little bit.
Yeah, I was
No,
looking at those
I hope you
tattoos.
do
They
a
don't
little
seem like
shopping.
normal tattoos.
They're not. They look so thin
No.
lines.
They're
Yeah,
It's like a single
Micro
needle.
The
realism.
detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's famous for intricate detail.
Yeah.
Micro realism they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super talented guy, but
It's awesome.
it's fun. It's been fun.
Best part about working with your spouse.
It's I think when you do things together, it's you can celebrate together, and and probably and it's probably that, and I'm stuck at this, and I'm getting better at it as I get older, is letting her carry some of my weight of the pressure of it. Just when and I wear it, man. When things aren't going well, it's a veil on me. I feel it. It's tangible, and I used to just own that weight completely alone, and being able to say, "Hey, I'm overwhelmed." But I think if you could just take 20% of this off my back, I think I could breathe, maybe sleep, maybe halfway be able to live a normal life. So here's 20%, and she'll take it, and I hope I can do that for her too. But it's easy to say, well, it's fun to work together so you can win together and celebrate together, but it's probably more than anything, it's good to carry some of that load together.
Yeah, I think same. I don't think I have much to add to that. I mean, I feel like that's true. We're learning so much more about that, how to do that with each other, how to say the thing. As entrepreneurs, I think sometimes you play out all the scenarios in your head, and you're running down every possible path that could happen. And normally the scary ones are the ones that spin out on the recorder, right? And if you can speak it to your partner, I just did this with him this weekend. I was like, hey, now this like amazing thing's about to happen, and they're gonna announce that I have a book deal and like all this, and I'm like thinking about these awful things that could happen because of that. And he was like, they have a plan. You're not the first person who's written a book like this. Like they already have a plan for that. And I was like, oh my God, great point. They probably do have a plan for that.
Right.
Awesome. And so instead of just spiraling in that moment, I was able to say like, hey, will you carry 20% of this? And he was like, absolutely, I got it. And we got it. Like it's
Right.
gonna be okay. Like it's fine. Don't let that narrative steal this really big, cool, joyful thing that you've worked really hard
Right.
for, which is cool.
All right, so I want us all to participate in this one. So, Laura, you go first. First concert you ever attended?
I don't want to get this wrong, but it was either, I think it was the Beach Boys, Hilton Head Island Beach Boys.
Wow, that's an epic one.
Yeah.
First show I ever saw was Waylon Jennings, Hank Jr., and Travis Tritt
Good Lord.
in Birmingham together,
Wow. That is an epic one.
which is a full circle coming back. I never got to do a Waylon show, but I've worked with Hank and Tritt a lot. But yeah, that was the first show.
Ew. Mine's not as cool, but New Kids on the Block in Philly.
Let's go.
I love that.
That was pretty cool.
Dino
I
opened
mean,
up. It was pretty. I mean, I remember.
When you're our age, that's a big deal.
It was.
I feel
Philly.
like-
My dad was like, you two sit here, and I'm going to the bar. We were 6 and 8
And
That
you're
sounds-
like,
in Philly.
Got it.
But you could do that back then.
Yeah.
yeah. And you were
I was
like,
that
got it.
80s
We're
life.
not
Normal.
moving.
I'm
We're
like,
here.
all right, Dad, we'll be here.
That was normal.
Thanks. Bye.
Can't hear you anyways. Yeah.
Can you take our picture on
Buttons.
this disposable camera? Thanks.
No, I don't even think we had. No, I mean, he had like a whole camcorder.
Stop.
We'd
Yes.
get kicked out of Jazz Fest. I mean, we get kicked out of everywhere because of Pat with that camcorder this big.
Yeah, you got me, Pat. That's
All right, what about
Bon
you?
Jovi. Living on a prayer,
Oh.
baby. All right, well, dang. Last question of the evening. Hidden gem in Cullman or on Smith Lake? It's a good one for us to hear, too.
Wow. Laura?
No, you have to go first.
Hidden gem, I would say a good pub crawl. Like I said, we have a lot of good bars downtown. I think downtown Cullman is special. If you've never been in our downtown at night, it's fun. Any of our festivals, any between Rock the South and the Bloomin' Festival and Strawberry Fest, Oktoberfest, our incredible Christmas market. Downtown Cullman is a special hidden gem for people. And more and more, the city is providing things for people who live on the lake and looking for something to do, to take that short 20, 30-minute drive into town and kind of have that experience that they're hoping for, or maybe what they used to have back home in the larger city that they came from. So yeah, Cullman is a charming downtown, very safe, very, very safe downtown.
And so precious. I'm going to go more specific. I'm going to go Dutch's Donuts.
Oh yeah.
It's a 100-year-old donut shop downtown.
You ever had a Dutch's donut?
Oh, well, we need to leave right now and go to Dutch's.
they were
If they were
open.
open, we would leave right now and go get y'all
We're
one.
not open on Sundays or Mondays, so don't go on those days.
But they're open till 2 p.m. every other day.
Yeah.
And it is literally almost 100-year-old recipe. And the family who purchased it from the founding family has kept it authentic. It is delicious.
It's just one of
Are
the
they cakey donuts or like Krispy Kreme?
They're not Krispy Kreme. They're a little bit thicker, like denser.
They're a
than
little
that.
more dense than that, but
But
it's not a Dunkin'
Not a
donut.
Dunkin'.
No,
No,
not
so
even
special.
close
Like
to
a
that.
Shipley's. I know what you're talking about.
It's just
I know
so
the- I know
special.
the
Right out of the
texture.
oven,
Yeah.
which the oven looks like it was built in 1930.
It probably was.
In there, and it's in there rotating, and it might be. I don't know how they fuel it, but either way, I can't believe I didn't even think of it. But yeah, Dutch's
Well, you were
Donuts.
giving off everything. You're like, let me name
Well,
off
I'm just-
everything that's in Cullman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dutch's.
And
the
then
best.
one more, because I'm going to stay on my bakery theme. Flavors Bakery
Oh yeah. The
has an
orange rolls.
incredible orange roll, but
In a
also,
city that's famous for orange rolls with
Right.
Allsteak, she decided to make one and said, "Hold my German beer," because this lady's very German,
yes,
and makes an orange roll. It's way different than Allsteak's, and so they're both great in their own right. But her orange
but
roll
honestly,
will blow your face off.
everything she has is so good.
Okay.
Her
It'll
cookies,
blow your face
if you can get there early enough and get, like, she has these stratas, like breakfast stratas that are like sausage, egg, and cheese, and they're so good. One time we were keto, and I would go in there every morning, and
It's healthy. It's healthy.
I literally
What?
got us these stratas that are made of, the base is bread. And I would be like, here's your strata for our keto. And we were losing weight. Like, we were doing pretty good. And then one day I walked in and they were like, keto strata. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
I was like, no, what's in the other strata? And she was like, well,
Bread.
let's start with bread. And I was like, if Shane comes in here, you can never tell him that. I was like, I've
Tell
been
him it's
giving
always
him
been
these
keto.
things every day. I felt so bad. Anyway, that's
Coleman in of itself is a hidden gem. It really is.
Yeah.
The grotto over
Oh.
over at St. Bernard is incredible.
the water. I mean, there's a waterfall in Larkwood that if you haven't gone and seen, which is just a neighborhood.
If it ever
that's really
rains,
nice.
drop
big
through
one?
Larkwood.
Oh my
Huge,
gosh.
huge waterfall.
So stunning. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's tons of like incredible hiking trails in our city. I feel like most people don't know that. Duck River has a beautiful hiking trail that, anyways, we could sell you on Cullman because we really love it, clearly. But also, if you're looking to buy something, this guy is the guy. Jason's your guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I like it because it's in between Huntsville and Birmingham, but you've got the lake, you've got Bankhead.
Yeah.
I mean, you just
Centrally
got
located.
you've got all this. There isn't a shortage of something to do
We have
if you like to be outside.
We have Nashville friends that come once a quarter and hang out with us on the lake.
They love it.
And they're here in 2.5 hours. They load up all their stuff. We've got one that's got a new baby. They bring her, we spoil her and kiss her and all the things. And we stay on the lake and we hang out, and they're back home in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It is an easy ride
So
to
easy to,
Nashville.
yeah. We have a house in downtown Coleman, and when we're thinking about where can we have a place of refuge where we kind of live a life of rest when we're there, because we do have the 15 businesses, so we protect this house with no work here.
Yeah.
And so we were
This one?
This one. Yeah, this one. And so we were thinking, but before that, we're thinking maybe let's go down to the beach. Let's have a place at the beach. But we started thinking about it. Well, that's 6 hours. That's 12 hours there and
Right.
back.
That's a long time.
We won't
Right.
make that a normal part of our life. And we got a good friend in Cullman, a guy named Eddie Candid. He's been huge about building Cullman, building the city of Cullman. He told me him and his wife stayed at the lake 40 or 45 weekends in 1 year. He has the same situation, has a house in Cullman, has a lake house. And I thought, man, he said, it's just so fast, man. It's 30 minutes and we make it a part of our life. And,
Yep.
you know,
You
we
can.
start to drop our shoulders somewhere around 3 o'clock on Friday. And we know that we're headed to the lake and we're living that lake life until, you know, late Sunday night or first thing Monday morning, and we're back to work again.
Right.
But it's in implementing that rest, and we can be here in 30 minutes, you know, from Cullman.
And there's something about that. We earmark, I think, like even times, like you asked about travel. I mean, I do think like when you are high performers, big achievers, like giving yourself permission to have real times of rest, being away from your phone and unplugging and like taking a walk.
Smoke that cigar.
Yeah, smoke the cigar and drink
know.
a wine, drink a glass of wine, like do the things. I mean, I think like this is a gift you get to give yourself. Being on the lake is instantly just looking out of the water. What do they say, for 15 minutes a day, literally lowers your blood pressure, like actually changes the trajectory of your health. And so what a gift, like that you can be this close. We can literally, I mean, he will tell you, I am like on the back porch. The sun's setting, I'm outside. I'm watching it. I got to see it.
Every night.
Every night.
It's like a soap opera for, you know, it's got to watch it every day, you know.
It's different every day.
It's different every day.
It really is. It is a gift.
It
It's
is.
so beautiful. And sometimes
Sometimes I'll be in the house and she just screams.
Because it's so
"What's
orange or
wrong?"
so
She's like,
pink.
you got to see this sunset. I was like, I thought someone had a gun to your face. You know, no, there's oranges over there and purples over there, and there's a
When it's
fog.
that bright orange and that bright pink.
stop.
I know, it gets me.
I can't
know.
deal with it. It's so beautiful. I'm
know,
like the
it
guy
is.
who's like, it's a double rainbow. But like every night.
every night.
Thank y'all so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it
guys
was
for
so nice
coming.
to meet y'all and
Gosh.
get to know y'all.
I know.
I
Thanks
sent you
for
a friend request on our way here.
done. Well, you're in. You're in. I had somebody being mean to me earlier. But
I'll whoop their ass.
I know.
Now
all my
listen,
friends
I'm
are
a
like,
girl's
We'll
girl.
ride at dawn. Me too, girl. I'm a girl's
Ride
girl.
at dawn.
We will ride at dawn.
Is there anything I want to plug before we go? I mean,
Which company?
yeah, I mean,
Rock the
that
South's
would
coming
take it
up.
up. That'd be a whole other segment.
Now I do have a personal question. Why did they get moved to June this year?
Yeah, because
It's so hot any
It's-
other time.
was
June
and it
is
always
better.
rains.
You
Maybe
know,
trying to mix
it's
the
a
weather up.
jigsaw puzzle. You know, when bands are available,
Yeah.
all kinds of things.
Well,
no,
we
come-
We bought
to Taco
tickets
we
for
Mark.
bought
Riley
tickets
Green.
somewhere else.
Come to Taco Mark.
Where you going?
Franklin for Riley Green,
Is he at
The
the same
19th,
weekend?
The 19th.
the 19th.
Yeah.
You need to
Well,
trade that.
But I was
You
like,
can't beat Riley.
well, it's Riley and Drake White. Has
Yeah,
Drake
we
White
have
ever come?
We've had Drake.
You have?
Yeah, we love Drake.
Me too.
Gadsden? Gunnersville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grew up on the Coosa.
Sure did, yeah. He's a special talent.
He really is. His
got
voice
a great
is so good.
got a great testimony too.
After his stroke.
After
Yeah.
his stroke, yeah.
Wow.
He's had a
He
really
had a stroke on stage.
it's pretty nuts.
Oh
I know.
God,
I think he's
so
one of my
sad.
favorite artists.
Yeah, special talent.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Riley are close friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
the two
miss
of
you.
them.
See,
Well,
you
I
could
know.
go
I
with
was like,
us.
we might. We're only gonna be gone one night.
Yeah, it's a 3-night event.
I mean,
It's a 3-night event.
it's a 3-night event. You
I know.
can still come.
Well,
And you can
our
come to Taco
daughter,
Mark.
our daughter is a huge Rock the South fan, and she's like, I don't even, and she thinks she's for sure my equal.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
she's 15 going on 27, and I have to remind her every day. I'm like, baby, I'm your mom. You are not my equal.
That happens.
You're also
And she-
broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got no dollars.
No money, but I
No.
need it.
But then I'm
Lesbian.
out here. I'm
VIP
out here.
ticket.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's like, well, because Dad always he's like, Merry Christmas, baby. Here's your VIP ticket. You can have the pit tickets.
Dad,
And then
that's
we're
so
out in the
nice.
grass, which is fine. I don't need to be in the pit, but
Yeah, she didn't need to be in that pit.
but I've got a friend that works for Buffalo Rock, and he gave us Pepsi tickets last year.
Awesome.
And that was
That's
That
a
was
fun.
awesome.
That's a fun time.
it was air conditioned. It was
They
a great
know
time.
how to do it.
They put on a show.
Yeah.
Nice
they did good.
bathroom. Got out of the rain for a
Cold
little
Diet
bit.
Dr Pepper. I was living.
Who's mad?
And air conditioning.
Listen, do tell me anything, but that Dr. Pepper Zero.
The Dr. Pepper Zero is better than everything.
It's better than the
I haven't had a
real one.
soda in 2 years, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's your
I don't
fault.
think you're missing.
I cold turkeyed for 12 years.
Did you really?
12 years.
Why'd you
Don't
go
tell
back?
me you.
LaCroix was my jam. I gave up soda for like 12 years.
Okay.
The truth is I got on the weight loss shot, and it's a like an insulin thing.
Right.
And so you crave sweets.
You need some, yeah.
And so I just use that as my sweet.
Hey, do you know?
I got a replacement. You know what it needs to be?
What?
Dutch's Donuts.